Hello, welcome to Taipei. Hi, Claire. Welcome back. Hey, thanks for inviting your followers. Everyone, thank you so much. Outside the Jindian Temple, Jindian Gong, in Taipei here. This is a relatively new temple compared to many around the city. This one finished in 1967. Yeah, you're awake now. Yeah. How much sleep did you get? Like an hour? My God. Hey, Jindian Kuai Happy New Year from Taipei, Taiwan. Thanks for the monkeys. Tap the screen to get the monkeys. It's the year of the monkey. I'm outside this temple here, Jindian Temple. It's really beautiful. Claire, we got a really beautiful day here in Taiwan. It's been raining for so many days in a row now. And yesterday was nice, and today's nice. So it's an omen. It's a good sign for a good year, I think. And it's warm. It's the first day I've been able to just wear a long sleeve shirt without a jacket in weeks, I think. And it's a very pretty temple. This is one of my favorites to come and check out. Hello, London. Hey, give me a shout out where you are. I'd love to say hi before we go inside. This is a really popular temple here, but a little more progressive than some in the Taipei area. They have done away with incense and offerings, so they wanted to cut down on pollution and waste. And so they used to have this traditional New Year's Eve celebration that many temples do in Taiwan, where they play the drums and the bells 108 times as it's an auspicious number, leading up to midnight. And then at midnight, everybody is barricaded away from the main censer. This is where you go to pray and put the incense in. 108, yes, it's a very auspicious number in Taoism, Buddhism. And so they have a race to see who can put their incense in the burner, the first one. And apparently, if you are the first one in, you have a lucky year. John and Walter in Sydney, hello. Thanks for joining me here. So anyways, they used to have this, and some temples still do this in Taiwan, but they got rid of this as well because it just causes a little bit, they just want people to pray from the heart. So people used to rush up, and I was here 2 years ago when they still did it, and this one man was in such a hurry. Two guys were in such a hurry, they jumped the queue. They went before they were supposed to, just so they could get their stick in before everybody else and have a good year. And then some guy ran and he tripped this woman while he was running. So they wanted to get away from this. So this is a little more of a progressive temple here in Taipei. And a lot of people come here to kind of get like a cleansing. So when we go inside, we may see some people. Oh God, these are losers. Some total losers here. We may see some people. You may see some assistants kind of doing almost like they're like a cleansing. So they'll wave some incense around them, and it's just to sort of get rid of the bad qi. To get good qi and start out the year right. So we may see some people doing that in here. There's a big lineup in here. I just went to check out. And it's a very popular temple for business people to come to because there's a god that they worship here that was a really good administrator. So a lot of business people like to come here to pray as well. So that's what happens at a lot of these temples is they'll have certain deities that people will gravitate towards. And because that's going to give them best luck. That's the god that they need to talk to in order to get what they need to get or for their life to change. And there's all kinds of little temples around. There's a little temple on Diwa Street in Taipei where people go to pray to have a spouse. So they have a god of love there. So let's go inside. I'm going to go on the right side because that's the dragon side. So you always enter the dragon and leave the tiger for good luck. So. And I hope my gimbal's not wearing out on me. Might be due for a battery change here. If not, we'll have to go with the other normal way, unfortunately. You've been here. Oh, very cool. And so we're going to go inside. I think I might have used up my battery. Yes, enter dragon, leave the tiger. Yeah, I haven't left America. Okay, sadly. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. And I hope you can come here. Oh, I know why. Hang on. Sorry. Here we go. There, that's better. Okay, thank you. So we're inside the Jindian Temple. This is where people... This is where people do their readings and prayers here, which is a little bit different from the other temples that I've been visiting. And this is a very big temple, very open temple, and I'm going to talk just a little bit softer. And they have these lineups that people get in to have these, let's say, priests or assistants do these kind of cleansings, what I was telling you about before. I see that there's many people here that are just praying, and the gods are up there, and you can probably see them. And so people here are praying. It's a great big open courtyard. There's beautiful traditional lanterns that light up underneath here, and you can have a lot of open things, outdoor things in Taiwan because of the weather, because it's pretty warm most of the year. So it doesn't look like they're doing any of the cleansings at the moment, but there's lots of people here. This one's from 67, Claire, finished in 1967. This structure here, there may have been some structures before that time, but this is a fairly new temple compared to many others that are hundreds of years old. It's exactly 1967 in Taipei. And then if you hear these little click soundings, clicking, it's people dropping these moon blocks, and they're there to help tell people's future, and it's a bit of a process to go through this. You have to kind of be very specific about what answer you're looking for, and think of it in your head, and you have to pray, and then 15 minutes afterwards you cast these blocks, and then it will sort of give you the message that you're looking for. What you need to do in your life, or what direction you need to go. So this is and that's just a very, very simplified explanation of it. It's a lot more detailed, and I'm not sure about the 15 minutes if it's on the front side or back side. But yeah, prayer is the master key, absolutely. And many of these temples are multi-denominational, as I've explained before. A lot of people believe in this. Yeah, a lot of people really do believe in luck and everything. I've sat here with people before, when they've waited at midnight, hello Amsterdam, when they've waited at midnight to be the first person to, put the incense stick in the burner, and they really believe that it's going to make a lucky year. So many people do believe this, but, do this many people come out every day to this temple? No. I mean, a lot of people will just come out at this time of the year because it's for good luck, just to go, just like people go just to church at Christmas and Easter. It's similar here as well. Same thing in India. It's the same thing. Not everybody is super religious. They're just as modern as people in the West as well in their thoughts. But it is a lovely temple. I've been here on New Year's Eve before for the festival celebrations, and it's just amazing. Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. If you believe it, it's what you think is what you are. So, hey, Peter. And so there's lots of people here, a big turnout here, and it's the second day of the Lunar New Year. And this is an interesting neighborhood because actually just down the street is a crematorium, and they sell, there's little shops here that sell all kinds of things to burn for the dead. That's another thing that people believe in, is helping people in the afterlife. So they have lots of the Joss paper money, the fake money that they sell here. And it is beautiful architecture, and like houses and cars, paper cars, things like that you burn for your loved ones so that they have help in the afterlife. And there's little shops that line the street on this street as well. It's fairly warm right now. I'd say it's plus 20 degrees right now, and it's very comfortable here right now. Very, very comfortable. Getting a lot of really weird trolls these days, Claire. I'll tell you, it's just like it is. I don't know if it's a reflection on the state of intelligence these days or what, or it's just that Periscope is catching on more, and it just attracts more idiots. Yeah, I've got a type. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't want to admit that. Weird French trolls. Yeah, we all attract them, don't we, in our different ways. Multiplex, how are you, man? CJ, what's going on? Probably babies, yeah. Oh well, just ignore them, right? They don't exist. So this is the Jindian Gong, the Jindian Temple, and if you read anything about Taiwan and its temples, this one will be mentioned a lot. People like it. These red doors are absolutely wonderful. 1967. Hey, how are you, Germany? How are you? Hi. This is these doors are beautiful, and on New Year's Eve, when they do the ceremony, right at midnight, they swing them open, and it's so dramatic and beautiful and spiritual. But it is lovely, and you can see it's kind of like got a lot of open area because like I said, the weather here permits it. And Skywalk Temple. And I'm just going to leave on this side. And Happy New Year to everyone. Jinnian Kuai-le. And you get a lot of the people studying here, redoing their readings. And I'll just give you another shot of that because it's very unique. Not all temples are set up this way. Oh, English Skywalk. Oh, very cool. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you, CJ. That's awesome. CJ's from Taiwan, so English Skywalk Temple, Jindian Temple. Very cool. No, they're private. They're not state. They're not state. And some of these organizations even have their own TV channels. Some of these religious sects here in Taiwan. So they're very well organized, and they certainly can fundraise for sure. Yeah, CJ's awesome. I don't see him enough on, my friend. Don't see you enough on. I've been kind of dormant a little bit at times as well, but we need to get CJ back on in Taipei as well. There's another shot of Jindian Temple. And it's a really nice day here in Taipei. It's long overdue, I have to tell you. Yeah, the roof is spectacular, and it's so classic East Asian. And there's 13,000 temples in Taiwan. So I think I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if Mazu, the goddess of the sea, is worshipped. This may be one of the few temples I've been to where there's a fortune teller. Yeah, there's lots of fortune tellers around here too. That's right. Good point, CJ. Yes, this is. There's a street where they're all on here too, but there's lots of fortune tellers around here. The corner, the crosswalk intersection where this temple is on, they used to have lots of people around there selling offerings and flowers and things, but the temple has gotten rid of offerings and incense, so they wanted to be a little more clean and pollution free. And many temples have gone this route. They've gotten rid of incense. But there used to be all kinds of characters that used to hang around here at the crosswalk, and they're not here anymore because they can't make a living. Because the people won't buy the stuff because they can't take it inside to the temple. I've never seen anybody arrested. I've never seen anybody disrespect a temple. I mean, I can't imagine like a local person would do it, even a foreigner. Yeah, very famous place. Yeah, I will do that, my friend. I will. Thank you. It's an interesting question, but I've never heard or seen anything like that happen here. I saw a couple of weeks ago, I saw some guy speaking too loud on the MRT. I was on the MRT, and you're supposed to speak softly or be quiet when you're riding the MRT, similar to the trains in Japan. And people are very good about it. And this one guy was speaking too loud. He was speaking pretty loudly. and this one woman said something to him to quieten down, and he said something back to her, and then this other guy just jumped up and walked up to him and stared at him, and he got off the MRT. So I mean, this is the way people are. People wouldn't stand for it, for one thing, here, and I don't know, I can't even imagine something like that happening. But anyways, it's a beautiful day here, the second day of the Lunar New Year in Taipei, and I'll be scoping around more, finding more things to share with you. Is there a particular dish you eat on New Year's? Well, there's lots of different things. People like to have rich dishes, like more expensive dishes. Yeah, that's right about the Jindian Temple, the Taipei fruit. Somebody mentioned about the fruit. There's the wholesale fruit market is close by here, and actually, I like to go down to that neighborhood to buy fruit because it's got the best selection of fruit I find in some of the neighborhoods that I've been in Taipei. So you can find lots of local fruit. And there's all kinds of tropical fruit that's grown on the island. So I love to go there because it's the best selection, I think. And there's also a really good, like the fish markets there. There's this really, really cool Japanese restaurant fish place that sells takeout stuff, and it's got a sushi bar and everything. It's really, really good takeout food, and I'm going to go there after this and get some takeout food for dinner. So yeah, it's a really interesting neighborhood around here. But as far as the dishes go, people like to have abalone because it's a luxurious thing. And so on the Diwa Street where I was scoping the other day, they sell lots of cans of abalone. People like to have abalone, like to have nice fish. Expensive things, like people would do in the West. It's no different. There's a mullet roe here, like a fish eggs that are cured that people will serve on the table, and it's kind of a luxurious item. Abalone in New Zealand as well, and a lot of the abalone I think now comes from South Africa. They've banned it where I come from in British Columbia. They might be farming it now, but you can't get it in the wild anymore because they took too much out. This guy's got all the... Well, you and me got to do a scope together one of these days, man, and you can take me to one of these places, like this foot massage place. I would love to go there because that's a really super traditional thing in Taiwan. You receive pains. Yeah, well, that's a lot of people in Taiwan say that. You go to these foot places and you walk out in pain. You walk out with more pain than when you walked in, but yeah, eventually I think you feel better, right? In New Zealand, they have strict guidelines here because they've fished out this abalone because it was going for such a high price. But people will buy all these expensive luxury items and things and lots of cooked meats and that they will have. So it's just a mix. But it's always you always have you start the year off with really nice, expensive food, and that tends to be what people tend to do. Eat them with fish and chips. Well, that's luxury. Well, my brother used to be a diver, and he used to go and get it for me. And I cooked abalone myself and pounded it and sautéed it, and it's absolutely delicious when you get it out of the sea like that. But yeah, this is a really cool neighborhood. This is in Taipei, and this is the Jindian Temple. And it's a beautiful day here. You're hungry now, I know. You should have... I took people through the market after the Longshan Temple tour earlier. If you watch that scope, the replay on it, I've got lots of food shots in there if you really want to torture yourself. But it's been good. We've been getting scopes from all over East Asia. It's been great. People from Singapore, Hong Kong, all scoping, which is really awesome. So it's really great to show off this culture. The Skywalk Temple, yes, I love that, and it's a very amazing, interesting, rich culture. It's over 4,000. This celebration is over 4,000 years old. Yes, that's exactly how you spell it. And it's really nice to share. It's a nice day. I hope the weather's nice tomorrow. Be scoping some more. So I hope you join me. And check out my podcast, too, on iTunes, Far East Adventure Travel, or my website, fareastadventuretravel.com. Thanks. Look at that. So gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to check out. Thank you so much for watching. Just more of the same, Claire. There's nothing that I know of as far as any sort of special like parades or anything like that. I'm just always snooping around if there's anything interesting. The Sky Lantern Festival won't be for a few days, and the other festivals in the south are when they are. But there's nothing as far as parades or anything like that. Just more of the same kind of thing. And I'll bring you some more different visits, different places on the itinerary for this week. So I hope you join me. Thank you so much. So 新年快乐, Happy New Year from Taipei, Taiwan. 谢谢.